of opening statements here in the last few days, so I'll probably just repeat myself. But thanks again to everybody that's put on this championship, the NCAA, Ohio State for hosting such a great event. And another congratulations to all the teams. It's been some fun volleyball. I think we all knew that was going to be the case, and look what it's been. It's been a great championship, especially considering everything. And so here we are, Brigham Young Cougars against the University of Hawaii. Pretty exciting, pretty darn good matchup. Both squads, both teams, congrats to those guys. And we're excited to be a part of this whole deal. And so we've got our squad, and we'll be ready to go as they will. And so it's just going to be a great matchup. So we're excited about it. But, thanks again to everybody that's really made this happen. It's been a crazy time for everyone. So we can't say thank you enough to all those parties that have been supportive and have done everything to be able to allow these athletes to have this opportunity. What a great time in their lives.
Thank you, Coach. We'll open it up for questioning, starting with Vincelopes.
Coach, our two-part question here. First part for Coach and the second part for Will. Coach, it's not every day that we have two national players of the year going up against each other. Love to get your thoughts of Rado and some of the challenges he poses for you. And then for Will, I think it's only fair. I asked Gabby about you yesterday, so I'd love to get your thoughts on what Gabby's meant to you as a teammate and a player.
Yeah, I look at that matchup. It's exciting. Two guys playing the same position, pretty darn similar roles for their respective teams. Big, strong kids that have meant a ton to their programs. Rado to the UH and Gabby to BYU. And so it's going to be exciting. Rado's a lefty, Gabby's right-handed, as everyone knows. So a lefty in and of itself, presents a few different, different matchups, different looks for our guys from not only the service line, but offensively in the front row and the back row. And he's a guy very, very similar to Gabby. Both those guys are going to kind of use their arms to get us out of trouble. And we're going to rely on those guys a bunch from the service line at the net and front row and back row. And so both those guys do carry a large load for their teams. And Rado definitely does that for UH, and he's had a great career there. He's had a great season, and so volleyball fans, it's a fun matchup. They're both, some international flair to the guys, which we like, of course, and UH has a handful on their team, so there's another level of kind of energy and excitement, and we look forward to watching it. It's going to be fun to be a part of it and let those guys compete. Two big physical guys going, at each other all night, maybe not at each other directly, but for their teams carrying those loads. And so it'll be a nice matchup.
And to go off of your question, Gabby, honestly, just in general, I think easily you could put him up there as one of the best players in BYU volleyball history, just with the accolades he's gotten over the years. And I mean, the dude's got a cannon of an arm, and just having that guy on your team is, I remember even yesterday talking to Zach and Davide as Gabby's going back to serve, and he gets an ace, and we both say, we're glad to be on this side of the net when that's happening, and he's just one of those guys. He's a game changer, and he always has been. And I know that if we're down 2 to 3 points in the 20s and we have Gabby going back to serve, that I'm fully confident that we're going to score 1 to 2 points on his serve, at least every single time. So I think he's definitely one of those guys where it doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter what's happening, when he's going back to serve or when you're sending him the ball, that he's going to get you a point. And he's been that guy for 4 years. So I think to have that on your team is something special. And he's been something special. And as a setter, with him being back there, I mean, I have full confidence that I don't have to make a perfect set, or I can put a ball in a window and that dude will go up and he'll kill a ball for me. So that relationship we've built over the years has been something great for me. I think just being able to have someone that consistent and that reliable over my year setting, that just know that if I want to throw a ball back there, it doesn't matter where it goes. He's going to go up and hit it and be confident in that swing and almost every single time take a good swing.
Up next, Rob DeMello.
Yeah, I got two questions for Will. First one is the significance of playing the University of Hawaii in the national championship match, a program that you grew up watching, a program that your family has strong ties to. Just how much more special does it make it that you're closing your college career playing for a national title against the Bows?
Yeah, I remember being 2-3 years old and watching my brother play at UH and sitting in the front row of those games in the Stan Sheriff Center when they were playing UCLA and they were packing that place. And I honestly remember watching them play in 2015 or 2016 when they had that run. But it's definitely something special. I think, being a Hawaii boy, you always kind of go into those games with a little extra chip on your shoulder, wanting to play the University of Hawaii and kind of show out and play your best game. And I've talked to Ryan about that, and just every time we get to play Hawaii, it's special because we're playing a team that we got to watch and see how good they were growing up, and be able to go out and have a chance to beat them and play them is something special. And we're ready. That's a good Hawaii team that we're going to have to play against. And I played with Colton in club, and I know Colton. I played with Kanai at high school and Alakai in high school. So, it's just fun to go out and play volleyball against your friends and see the level of volleyball coming from the state of Hawaii is I think in and of itself a special thing of knowing that there are 4 Hawaii kids playing in this national championship match, or 5 I forgot my brother, but there are 5 Hawaii kids playing in this national championship match. And it just kind of shows the level of volleyball that comes out of Hawaii. And being on Oahu and Colton being from Maui, just these small places, being able to kind of play on the big stage is something that we've always dreamed of as kids. So I think it's just in and of itself a great thing to see Hawaii volleyball flourishing and still being at the top of the collegiate game professionally and just kind of every level. So it's definitely something special.
You just made a lot of people feel old saying you're a 2 or 3 when Clay was playing. But the last thing is, you brought up your brother. Last night, seeing him go on that service run, you being on the court for that, knowing what it meant for the program and for you guys being here in this position in the national championship match, how emotional of an experience was that to be a part of that?
No, it's special. The crazy thing is that I've gotten to extend my career with him, and play. I thought I was only going to get 2 years with him, and being able to play 3 years of volleyball with him and seeing him grow and kind of flourish in the role of what he's kind of been to our team, and just being in that moment with him and just celebrating with him and kind of, again, looking back and remember watching him play when he was a little kid and helping him playing in the backyard of just peppering and kind of setting up our net on a fence and playing volleyball in our backyard. It's definitely emotional for me just seeing him and how excited he is. This is his first Final Four and his first experience. So just the just kind of elation he had last night was unbelievable. And I remember talking to Gabby last week and just saying John could be the guy that wins us a national championship, because he's going to come in and he's going to serve tough and he's going to be a spark for us no matter what he's doing. So we talked about it last week and we think it showed. John's going to be our X factor. I think he was yesterday and he will be tomorrow.
Thank you.
Up next, Darnell Dixon.
Felipe, talking about your team's balance on offense, I know that goes through Will, but what do you think that provides as far as what the other team has to face when Will's spraying the ball over and giving everybody opportunities?
For sure. Balance is something very important in volleyball. And I think Will has done a phenomenal job especially when he spreads the ball around, because it makes very unpredictable for the blockers. Me as a middle blocker, especially when we're playing against a setter that spreading the game, of course, makes the reading part of the game much harder. So him being able to use the middles, the outsides, the opposite, sometimes it comes too. So it's very good. I think it's a great key for a game.
Up next, Cindy Lewis.
Sorry, it takes me a while to figure out the unmute. Aloha, Coach. You touched on it briefly last night about the sacrifices that some of these guys made to come back for a fifth year and finish out the careers. I think it's Mickey, Zach, and Will. Could you walk us through how that happened? Was it you reaching out to them, one of them saying, hey, I'm coming back, domino effect, or was it a group decision?
Yeah. No, I remember specifically, I do remember there was like some rumors floating around at first. And, we had seen stuff and some Twitter things here or there, and that's kind of how the rumor mill goes, but nothing was confirmed, even with our compliance people. And of course, we were, hitting them up. We were in direct communication with those guys about, hey, what's going on? But I do remember that immediately when we got the green light, okay, this is happening, how are we going to go about this? And that decision in and of itself did have to go through administration. I believe probably for every school about how scholarships, etc. And it was, thanks to our administration, that was a no-brainer that we wanted those guys back. And so I remember calling each one of them, and they probably had already discussed, I think, that was my feeling. They had kind of been in communication, and each one of them was like, yeah, no, yep, I'm here. We're doing what we got to do. And it was, pretty easy in that sense. So it was not a group thing. I just reached out to those guys individually. And of course, yeah, I want to be here again. Love everything about BYU, being a part of this team, and the fact that they could get a chance to, be a part of the team again. They're young, and they did put their lives on hold. And you could say they sort of put their careers on hold. And so it was pretty special that they did that other seniors have done that across the country, because not all of them did. There's schools that lost some key guys, in volleyball and Division I volleyball and other sports as well. But for our guys, for our administration to give us the green light that they would support it, that we would make it work out for everybody else, even the young guys, it was a phone call to those guys that there was zero hesitation, and there was excitement on the other end too from those guys about their willingness and desire to just come back. It was kind of already done, and like I said, it was probably done behind the scenes with those guys talking. And hey, if this happens, we're all on board. And so there was one guy that we do miss that we'd love to have here, Andrew Lincoln, but his body, he had given us his body. He'd sacrificed so much for BYU over the 4 years. I felt criminal. I did call him, but I told him, like, Link, I'm calling you. I already know what you're thinking. And it's almost, what would you say, mean, or, just, I don't know a better word, but I shouldn't be asking you. But hey, I just want to throw it out there, because we would do anything to have you back and be a part of this group. But he made a good decision, and I think the guys would say that he's just as much a part of them as anybody else. And we've had like 2 team activities that have been approved through this pandemic, and one of those were with Link, and that was special for our guys to spend a lot of time with him, even though he's living in another state, and he is getting his career going. So we miss you, Andrew.
No, thanks. And Will, what do you think? No hesitation?
Yeah, no, I remember the news coming out, and within honestly a few minutes, I called Mickey, called Zach, and we had hung out in the meantime before, and we had heard the rumors and kind of discussed it. But as soon as it got green lighted, I remember I'm pretty sure I probably told Sean yes before he even could ask me the question. So it was one of these things where I just wanted to come back, and I loved playing with the boys and wanted that chance at being here in the seat, So it was a pretty easy decision for me.
Thank you, guys.
And final 2 questions, starting with Jay Drew.
Yeah, this could be for whoever wants to answer it. I asked the same thing a couple hours ago of the Rainbow Warrior guys. Does it feel in a way like you guys are playing for 2 national championships tomorrow night, given that last year was taken away from you, and you 2 teams were on a collision course last year as well?
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I can take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I think so because you know, with the whole pandemic thing last year, like you mentioned, the championship was canceled, and BYU and Hawaii were number 1 and number 2. It's basically our position right now, and we're in the position to finally close the deal. So we kept working hard. It's been a lot of hard work for 2 straight years, and now we finally get the opportunity of getting this final. It's a great team. We're excited to play them, and can't wait. We can't wait. We've been preparing, and we've been studying them too, and I think it's going to be a blast.
Last question goes to Vincelopes.
All right, Coach, I have to keep my streak alive of asking you random questions at an NCAA Tournament news conference.
You're gonna get a random answer. Hold on tight.
All right, so hear me out on this. So after your match last night, I went to order a pizza. I saw on the menu that there's a Hawaiian pizza, obviously, but no BYU pizza. So if you had to create a BYU pizza, what toppings would you put on that?
Okay. Bear with me. A BYU pizza. Jeez, a BYU pizza.
Go off of. You got to get every country.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The sauce would have to be Diet Coke. And then we'd probably have some flair from every country. So, you know, some Italian sausage. What we have? Some churrasco from Brazil, and then the plantains from Puerto Rico. And there you go. That's, I guess,
I don't know
from
what
Finland.
Finland.
I don't know.
Whatever they have in Finland.
But yeah, for sure, the sauce has got to be Diet Coke. There we go.
It's coursing through your veins, Sean.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.